Authorities have placed a temporary ban on email or phone solicitation by financial companies to prevent further information leaks. One of the few remaining living victims of the Japanese sexual slavery program has died, still waiting for an apology. And an endangered species of pigeon has been discovered at a Buddhist temple in Mount Jiri. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Monday, January 27th. I'm Luke Flaring. Fraud is rampant in the wake of an unprecedented leak of personal financial information. The authorities have placed a temporary ban on email or phone solicitation by financial companies.
More than 11 million people went into the homepages of 3 credit card companies to find out whether their personal information had been leaked. This man also logged on to his credit card company's webpage to check his status, but instead he got scammed out of roughly $2,800. He was deceived by a phony homepage that accidentally made him hand over his information that hadn't even been leaked. There was also a case where a customer was fooled by a scammer pretending to be an investigator that made him hand over his password. Nearly $46,000 were taken from his account. There has also been a spike in text messages convincing people to make small sum payments following the recent information leak scandal. But customers must remember that they should never reveal their financial information over the phone or online under any circumstances.
금융기관이나 공공기관 직원을 밝히더라도 카드 비밀번호, 또 보안카드의 비밀번호를 요청할 경우 이는 100% 피싱 사기니까 절대로 응하여서는 안 되겠습니다.
Financial authorities have toughened measures to prevent secondary losses. Starting today, financial firms will be banned from engaging in telemarketing activities, such as recommending loans over the phone, text messages, or emails. It will be a temporary restriction that will continue until March, but could be extended. As of yesterday, more than 5.3 million cancellation and reissuance requests were made to 3 targeted credit card companies.
As the spread of bird flu shows no sign of abating, the government has issued a standstill administrative order on several provinces and 2 cities.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs issued a temporary standstill order this morning for Gyeonggi, North and South Chungcheong provinces, as well as the cities of Daejeon and Sejong.
이번 결정은 부여 소재 농장에서 의심 신고된 닭에서 고병원성 AI가 검출되었고 천안 소재 농장에서도 의심 신고가 들어오고 있으나 산발적으로 오염되어 있을 가능성이 높은 점과
The latest order bans chickens, ducks, poultry farm workers and farm vehicles from moving around for 12 hours, starting from 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. There are 230,000 farms and 40,000 vehicles that are now subject to the ban. It's the second standstill order that the Agriculture Ministry has issued. The first order was issued on January 19th for the southwestern region of the nation. The measure comes in response to the confirmation of the highly pathogenic avian influenza virus at poultry farms in Buya, South Chungcheong Province, and Hinnam, South Jeolla Province. The government has also announced measures for people who will be visiting their hometowns for the Lunar New Year holiday. When inevitably visiting such places, people are urged to disinfect their cars and to be careful of not stepping on animal feces.
Sad news as a well-known and widely revered woman who had been forced into the Japanese sexual slavery program has died. She was one of the few living comfort women still waiting for an apology.
People come together to pay respect to the late Hwang Geum-ja. Hwang was 90 years old when she passed away yesterday. Her great wish of receiving an official apology from Japan never came true.
떠나시면서 가장 안타까운 부분이 지금 일본의 사과라든지 보상 없이 이렇게 돌아가시는 부분이 가장.
Hwang was born in Hamgyong province of North Korea. She was forced into becoming a comfort woman for the Japanese army when she was 17. Though she was able to return home after Korea's independence from Japan's colonial rule, she spent the rest of her life alone, unable to overcome the pain. She lived on the money that she earned by just collecting empty bottles and discarded paper. She received basic living subsidies from the government, but instead of spending them, she saved up and donated them as scholarships. The total amount reached $92,000. In her will, Hwang requested that all assets, including the deposit for her public housing apartment, be donated in the form of scholarships. Even in the face of adversity and loneliness, she never gave up helping others. The news about her death drew scores of people to her funeral. Only 55 of the 237 comfort women now still remain.
Independent lawmaker An Chol-soo dropped in on a traditional market in Busan on his tour to ramp up support for his new party. He made it clear he would field a candidate for the June local elections.
Independent lawmaker An Chol-soo returned to his hometown of Busan a month after his last visit. He met with citizens at a traditional market, which was bustling with shoppers picking up things before the holidays. An's latest visit to the nation's second-largest city was to check the public opinion of Busan residents before he launches a new political party. Another purpose of his visit was to drum up support for a candidate who will be fielded by his new political party for the June mayoral race.
앞으로도 많은 곳을 이제 방문할 생각입니다.
부산시장 독자하고 어떻게 좀 만나고 계십니까?
여러분들 만나 뵙고 있습니다.
At a public forum with the local citizens, An said that Busan, which has traditionally supported the ruling party, can no longer provide a safe haven to old politics. Then, he upped his criticism of the Saenuri party by pointing a finger at how it rescinded its pledge to scrap the party nomination system for the local elections. An's new politics promotion committee has decided on Monday to tentatively name the new party the New Politics Party. It will also form an organizing committee for An's new party soon. Then the establishment of the New Politics Party will be notified to the National Election Commission. The party plans to use a temporary name until it is launched. It will get its permanent name after getting feedback from the public.
A year has passed since the successful launch of Korea's Naro rocket, and to mark the milestone event, the Korea Aerospace Research Institute has opened the doors to the Naro Space Center for the first time.
The Naro rocket blasts off with a roar and a plume of fiery smoke. 9 minutes after the takeoff, the Naro successfully separates itself from the rocket and enters into orbit. The next day, the satellite successfully communicates with ground control, placing Korea among the world's aerospace giants. In celebration of this momentous occasion, the Naro Space Center has been opened to the public for the first time. Visitors can check out the command center where the launch was supervised, the tracking radar which pursued the Naro up to 2,000 meters in altitude, and the launch pad where the rocket blasted off.
관람도 하고 가족끼리 와가지고 이렇게 좋은 추억을 만들어서 너무 좋은 것 같아요.
People were particularly excited to see the models of the Arirang 5 satellite and a Mars exploration robot on display at the Space Science Museum. The exhibition will be free of charge until February 2nd.
나로 발사 현장이 어떤지를 많이 궁금해하셨고요. 이번에 1주년을 맞이하여 국민들한테 이 부분을 보여주고자 저희들이 행사를 하게 되었습니다.
It's already been a year since the groundbreaking launch of the Naro, but Koreans still recall the excitement and wonder of that day.
The Cultural Heritage Administration is pushing for the inclusion of Jeju Island's Hanya, or women divers, on the UNESCO list of intangible heritage, but there's competition from Japan.
Women divers on Jeju Island continue to work hard well into the winter by enduring the icy water. This kind of culture, where women work together in harsh conditions to make a living, is hard to find anywhere else in the world. But the number of women divers on Jeju Island has plunged recently, prompting the government to push for their inscription on UNESCO's list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity for 2015. However, such efforts are being hampered by Japan. The government of Japan's Mie Prefecture is trying to add the Japanese diving culture known as ama to the same UNESCO list. Japan is actively publicizing its diving culture through the international media, such as the French daily Le Monde and AFP. Recently, the Japanese broadcaster NHK even started broadcasting a TV show about ama divers. That's yet another reason for the Korean government to step up its efforts to publicize women divers on Jeju Island.
제주도에서는 하나의 조례로 지정이 됐었지만 유네스코의 대표 목록으로 됐기 때문에 어떤 국가적인 차원에서의 지원이 필요하죠.
Last month, the Cultural Heritage Administration set up a council to promote the listing of Jeju women divers as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity, and then in March it will submit the first application to UNESCO.
The Lunar New Year's holiday is just 4 days away. Koreans around the country are busy making their preparations.
Ahead of the Lunar New Year's Day, many paid visits to their ancestors' graves for memorial services. Along with their parents, children bow in front of the graves. Food is placed on a memorial stone. Family members gather to remember and pay tribute to their ancestors. Shoppers flock to markets ahead of the Lunar New Year's Day. Their hands are full of shopping bags. A street vendor is also busy as shoppers stop by to get some snacks. A fisheries market is also in business. Fresh fish are up for sale and customers look around and make deals. Merchants and customers haggle over prices, but their smiles show how excited they are of the approaching holiday. This performance of a traditional Korean music group adds festivity to the air. The nation is gearing up for the Lunar New Year's Day and is anticipating what the holiday may bring.
An endangered species of pigeon has been discovered at a Buddhist temple in Mount Jiri. There may be only 100 of this particular bird left in the entire country.
The 1,000-year-old Cheonan Temple is located in Mount Jiri. The pond in front of the temple's gate is home to mandarin ducks, which are regarded as a natural monument. A bird rushes to a ledge under the roof to take shelter from the snow. An endangered species of pigeon is found among them. One of the dark gray birds looks like a dove at first glance. However, the white belt in the middle of its tail shows that it's not a dove. It's an eastern rock pigeon. The endangered species is known to live in Mongolia and the Himalayas. However, there are no known details as to how they breed. They were seen at Hawam Temple in 2007. They then disappeared from the public eye. It's the first time in 7 years that the rare species has been spotted. A maximum of 16 eastern rock pigeons live near Cheonan Temple. Some of them are sitting on eggs. It seems that the birds chose the old wooden temple as their habitat because of its complex structure. No one knows why the number of the species has dropped. It's believed that only some 100 eastern rock pigeons live on South Korea's islands. The droppings are bad for the old temple, but Cheonan Temple is the bird's last shelter on land. The nation should take measures to protect the endangered pigeons.
Red beans are known to be a good food for the winter since people believe that they help them brace for the cold. The beans are used in a variety of foods from bread to rice cake and porridge. Let's take a look. Some snacks are particularly popular during the Korean winter. 3 representative snacks include white steamed bread, hoppang, toasted fish-shaped bungeoppang, and a bowl of porridge. They all have something in common. Each is made with red beans. Red beans are in the spotlight again. Foods made with red beans are sold even at cafes. There are shops specialized in red bean foods. Red beans used to be thought of as a food only old people enjoyed, but modernized variations of red bean foods are appealing to young people.
건강식을 좀 좋아해서 몸에 안 좋은 그런 뭐 밀가루나 설탕 뭐 이런 맛있는 뭐 케이크 이런 것보다는 이런 데 좀 찾아다니는 편이라서.
Red bean foods are not too sweet, so they suit the taste of young people. In addition to their soft and mild taste, red beans are also good for health.
붉은색을 나타내는 것은 안토시아닌이라고 하는 색소 때문에 그렇습니다. 이 안토시아닌은 항산화 성질이 강한 성분으로서 성인병을 예방하거나 만성질환을 예방하는 효과를 나타낼 수가 있고요. 인삼에 많이 들어있는 것으로 알려져 있는 사포닌 성분이 이 파채도 많이 들어있는데요. 혈액순환을 개선해주는 효과를 나타낼 수 있어서 동맥경화나 뇌졸중과 같은 심혈관계 질환을 예방하는 데 효과를 나타낼 수가 있습니다.
Red bean porridge has been modernized as well with the changes of the time. Porridge with rice was popular in the past, but the modernized version is thinner and made with finely ground red beans. Red beans are used in a variety of foods ranging from soup to bread. Red bean foods have transformed to meet the demands of younger generations. The cold weather makes people vulnerable to vascular disease. Rich in vitamin B1, red beans help boost the circulation of blood.
빙수로 이렇게 차가운 팥도 먹을 수 있고 따뜻한 팥도 먹을 수 있으니까 좋은 것 같아요.
Red beans are also good for women. A woman shares her secrets to staying in good health and in good shape with the help of red beans.
팥은 먹는 것뿐만 아니라 다른 활용법이 다양한데 오늘 제가 그 특별한 활용법을 알려드릴게요.
First, we're going to make red bean juice. Boil red beans and water together. After it's boiled, separate the water from the red beans to remove impurities. Put the red beans in a pot with fresh water. Boil them on medium heat for 40 minutes. Turn off the heat when the water turns red. Red beans also serve as a diuretic. It helps people discharge unnecessary water from the body and lose weight. You will avoid overeating if you satisfy your hunger with boiled red beans and red bean juice before a meal. But be careful. Excessive intake of red beans can cause diarrhea. Red beans are appealing to more and more people with their mild taste and nutritious features. Stay healthy this winter with this natural food. Now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. We'll see you again at the same time tomorrow. Have a great day.